include the transcripts if there's anything, so you don't have to worry about taking tons of notes. Everything will be included and you will have access to it all. So let me go ahead. I'm going to share my screen and we can get started. Okay, can you all see my screen and what I am sharing? Perfect. Okay. All righty, here we go. And if it is not working or it is not moving, please just like put your hands up or unmute yourself and feel free to ask questions along the way. So before we begin, I just want you all to know I thrive on interaction. So feel free to be active in the chat or ask questions and just participate, because I really want you to get the most out of this as you can. I'm going to try not to do tons of fluff. What I am sharing and teaching is about 20 minutes, and the rest of the time is really to give Q&A to you so that we can get your direct questions answered. So today is all about visibility to sales, really fixing that follow-up that maybe is stalling your sales. So we're turning that nurture sequence, your emails, into a high converting system so you can book more calls or make more sales. And I think what's important about this is I have been getting so many, talking to a lot of people that are saying, I'm showing up, I'm doing all the right things, I'm hosting webinars, but I'm not getting people on the phone, I'm not closing sales. And so some of you who signed up today told me also why you want to be here. And that's whether it's about being intentional about fine-tuning or implementing your messaging, writing your email sequences without sounding salesy. I know that can be something that can get in the way, not knowing what to write, or just launching something. And so we are going to cover all that. And my goal is really to help you fix that gap between the visibility and making more sales. So because I'm sure you've been getting all of my emails, the other things we're going to talk about is really how do we turn those emails into sales magnets? What to leave out of the nurture sequence. I know a big thing is like, what do I even write about? How do I know what to put in, what to leave out? And then how to turn those leads into yeses. Plus, we're going to do live copy reviews, like I said. So before we even dive in, I would love to know, I talked to a couple of you as we logged in, but if you can just share in the chat where you're from, what your business is, so that I can understand a little bit more and hopefully give some examples that are direct to what you're doing in your business. If you can just share in the chat a little bit more about that, that would be amazing. And if the chat is not working, please let me know, because it's giving me a whole bunch of messages here. So feel free to share your name and what you do in the chat, your zone of genius. Here we go. Anne Claire, Nonprofit Consulting. So yes, for anyone that doesn't know, I am in Wisconsin. It's beautiful. Usually I love to work from my deck, but I have 8 children outside of my door right now. There's only 4 of them are mine, but I have warned them, please do not come in and disturb. So they should be good, but if not, there may be some children running in. So we have 2 weeks left of summer vacay, and then everyone is back in school and I will have my house back. All right, we have Houston, Texas, San Francisco, Fort Worth, Texas. Hello, hello, hello. Creative agency, geologist. Ooh, that's fun. Okay, interior design. Ooh, I think I need that. All right. And ooh, love grant writers. Yes. Okay. I am going to now, sorry, I have to switch back to my screens here. Okay. All right. So in case I don't know how long you have all either been on my email list or been in my world, it's always fun to meet new people. But really what I do, I kind of share that personal side. I live in Wisconsin, have 4 kiddos, husband, we run 2 businesses. And my zone of genius, my favorite thing to do is help coaches, consultants, and founders like yourselves take their client results and turn them into high ticket offers and then build the systems that sell it. Or a lot of them are just, small teams that don't have a marketing team. And so we help they have really built their business through referrals or word of mouth. And now we're trying to take that one step further. And when we implement that system, we can not only bring people into our world and get all that visibility, but then sell. So just a couple wins that we've had recently is one of my clients had a nice following, but she didn't have a way to sell to them. So we created a community, launched it for the first time. She brought 500 people to her first live event, which was phenomenal and amazing. And now she brings new people into her paid community every day without having to do sales calls. So this is a much lower ticket offer, but it allows her to continuously grow it. Another client, she had a very cold email list with someone that she didn't engage with. And we did one launch and she made 18K in sales with just 7 emails, which was also super exciting. And now we're implementing that system for her so she can do this on Evergreen. Another one of my clients I'm working with now, she has a local clinic. Their appointments had dropped. They had all these openings. We did this re-engagement series and she is fully booked out for the next few weeks. So really exciting to just be able to re-engage when we start understanding how to get those emails, just really working for you. Ooh, righty. Okay. So I'm doing more stuff in the chat. I find it's really important. The more I can learn about you, the more I can help you. So I know some of you told me why you showed up today, but what is one thing you wish your emails could do for you right now? Like if we were to put a sequence in place or even just start sending out regular emails, what's one thing that you wish your emails could do for you right now? Ooh, and a fellow copywriter. Hi, Cheryl. Southern California. I love California too. Especially in the winter. I always live vicariously through my clients who are in California because it's warm and sunny there. All right, so while you drop that into the chat, I'm going to kind of move forward just to make sure we have enough time. So there's 3 main ideas that I want to chat about today with our emails. And really what I am focusing on is if you have what I've built this around is where you're showing up. And so these are the emails that come after someone comes to a live workshop like this, or you're hosting a challenge, or you're doing maybe some podcast guesting. It could be for your free lead magnet as well. A lot of times people have like live on-demand webinars, but really it's about how are people finding you and what's coming after. And so directly for this and talking about a workshop, a challenge, or where you're showing up live, that part 1 is we're really leading with that connection. And so many times we're showing up and what I'm seeing is that people are showing up, giving these great trainings, giving these great things, but then nothing happens after. Or maybe they're sending a couple emails, but they're not getting anything from it. And so I think the number 1 thing that's important is to know that these emails that you're sending are really the bridge. We're bridging the gap, right? So we're reminding them why they showed up in the first place and what's possible for them. We always want to talk in results-oriented language. What's the benefit to them? Why does it matter to them? And so I'll get back to, I know what I'm talking about isn't connecting with what's on the screen. I'll get back to this part first, but in regards to the email, we're starting with a relatable story or a client win. And so if you're just starting out, it's okay if you don't have a bunch of client stories or testimonials. Chances are you've had some success with what you're doing in the past, whether it's a success for yourself, right? Are you serving the past version of you? How can you build your story into this? Do you have a few people that you've helped in a similar capacity? Typically, it's more about the experience of working with you. People show up because they want to experience you. It's not always what you're selling that they're buying. They're more so buying the experience of working with you, especially in the coaching world, consulting, anything service-based. We have to really connect with the people in order to buy for them. And so knowing that your emails can really relate with story is important. And especially because now with, I'm sure, Everyone here is in the United States, but there's a lot going on. Trust is something that is super important. I don't know if you've heard, like, people are saying there's a trust recession, or it's even harder to make sales than it was before. So what we did before doesn't necessarily mean it's working now. I know I've had to shift quite a few things. Clients have had to shift things in just the way that we're showing up and interacting. And so the more that you can build story into it, that you can build video, whether you're just doing simple little Loom videos, how can you connect and allow your people to experience you, hear your voice, see how they can interact with you, right? That's what's going to cut through in these emails. And I'll show you how you can implement some of these things right into your emails. But just be thinking about that as you're writing these sequences. How can you engage with them? How can you get them to connect emotionally? And two of the ways are through story and video. And the most important thing is that these stories should relate with where your person is, where your ideal client currently is. And so that's why I talk all about really knowing and understanding your audience is key. And I'm not going to go into that today because that could be a whole separate thing. And I'm sure you've all done the ideal client avatar or the, those exercises and examples. And I teach that to my as well. But we go a little bit further, deeper into it and doing market research, and all of that's included in what we first start with my clients. But we're not going to start with that yet. We're kind of going to just keep going with this. So it's really important to know and understand who your audience is. And we're speaking only to the things that they would care about, resonate with, and talk about. Okay, so I'm just going to give a quick little example. Again, only things they would care about, resonate with, and talk about. So for example, I have someone that helps entrepreneurs with burnout. But if we talk about eliminating burnout or decreasing overwhelm, it's likely not going to bring in that right fit client. The entrepreneur you actually want to attract and work with doesn't already think burnout or overwhelm is the problem. What they're talking about and thinking about is they want to get more done. They want to have a better team. They need to, they're really thinking about how can they work less and increase their revenue or reach different levels. Like, what are the exact things they're saying and thinking about versus overwhelm and burnout? People who are already burned out and seeking burnout solutions are typically already on the verge of quitting. So they also typically have trouble getting things done, which means they usually might have issues bringing in more cash, hence the stress and burnout. So those people that, if you're drawing in talking about overwhelm and burnout, they're probably going to already be too overwhelmed, too burnout, and uncommitted to be able to pay you. But it's a totally different story if we're attracting the person who is running a stressful, busy business, managing teams, wearing all the hats, trying all the productivity tips and the leadership systems under the sun, but having trouble getting the output they want, right? So these people are much better positioned to buy from you. Is that making sense? It's just we're shifting the way we're talking about it because we're using the things that they're already thinking about and already talking about. Okay, so then I'm going to go into what I was talking about here with leading connection. Oops, went too far here. So lead with connection. Number one, the emails are really important that come after, but I wanted to include this in here even though it's not specific to email. When we're sending out a replay, most people aren't going to watch the replay. I don't know about you. This is maybe just a me thing. But how many times have you maybe signed up for a workshop and you're like, I'll just watch the replay, but you don't ever actually watch the replay? Me. Okay. And so the important part is that you're not just sending out a link to the replay in the email, but that the replay page is actually selling for you. And I teach this all as well. But on that page, it shouldn't just be the replay video. You can include testimonials and results. You can have it on the top of your sales page. It's whatever you want that call to action to be. We're having that also on the replay page because that's going to be really important. Wherever we can capture them and continue the conversation and get them to that call to action that we want. Okay, so I really wanted to make sure I included that even though it wasn't for email, but it's just a really important part of the process that I think a lot of people tend to miss, is just understanding where people are. Because attention spans are very short and they're getting even shorter. So part 2 of this is momentum. Every email should build on the last rather than sending out tons of value add or random tips. We're getting them from curiosity, awareness to readiness. And so when each email builds on the last, you're really building up that trust, urgency without feeling pushy and salesy. So I think that's really important. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm losing track here. Okay, so we're building with momentum. If your emails are, standalone or they don't directly follow your presentation, then you can start to lose people. Okay, I'm sorry. Someone keeps knocking on my door and it's distracting me. There goes those kids I told not to interrupt me. Okay, getting back into this. So in this that we're moving from curiosity, awareness to readiness, kind of what I talked about before. What is the problem that they are seeing that they're having right now that they're talking about? They're problem aware. We need to move them to solution aware. And so we're talking about, again, we're using stories, we're using social proof that matches the exact stage that they're in. And then always keeping it short and sweet. And I will show you in a couple of slides from here. I'm going to do some examples, but also give you a complete list of what those emails can look like. Okay, so just know that we start with the connection. We always lead with connection. And then every email is building on the last. So we're sharing stories. We're doing client wins, your own stories, really showing them what's possible with the transformation and what's the benefit to them. So many times we lead with, here's all the things that's in my program and here's what you're going to get. And that's great. But when we start talking about all those things, it's more like a checklist and it might get them like, oh, well, I don't think I need that, so I'm out. Right? They don't really need to know all the ins and outs that are in it. They just need to know what's the transformation for them. What is the transformation that they can expect? And then the last part of this is every single email that you send needs to just have one clear call to action. So a lot of times I see there's 3 to 4 different ways they can work with you. But when we do that, it splits the focus and it can tank conversions because then people are confused. They don't know which action they should take. They're like, oh, I'll come back to it later. And then they never actually come back to it. So really having one clear call to action throughout. And that can lead to, what are you specifically selling? So if you have a high ticket offer, a lot of times we're going to sell to book a call with me or fill out this application. Maybe it's a membership or a community and that we're sending them directly to the sales page. Is it just a different one-off offer that they can buy? So it really depends on what you're selling and what's that main call to action. So it's going to be the same call to action in every single email. And with this also comes, keep it really clear. Keep your email tied to that call to action, right? So instead of giving tons of helpful content in these emails or tips and tricks, that can tend to give them information overload or so much they're like, oh, I'll just try this myself. I don't need to go any further. We just keep it hyper focused. And again, we can do that through story, one main idea in your email, and one main call to action. Because you really want to help them, and you can still give them value, but you also have to position your offer as that missing piece that they've been searching for, right? This is something new or different than they've tried before that's going to get them the result they want. Because it's likely they've tried tons of other things before that haven't worked, and yours is something new or different that's finally going to get them that result. So that means showing them why they can't get the full result without your system or your process, or working with you directly is so important. And so when we don't make that single clear offer, people can tend to slip into that maybe later. And again, that later almost always turns into no. So the more that we can catch people right away, the better. I have found that, when we're talking about these nurture sequences, when people come onto your list, whether that's through your lead magnet or your workshop or your challenge, that is the warmest they are ever going to be. They want what you have right now, not 2 days from now, not 5 days from now. They want it right now. So whatever reason they came onto your list, that's likely the problem they want to solve, and they want to solve it right now. So that's why we don't want to wait to make the offer. We want to get them there as quickly as possible. And so in all of these emails, we're having that clear call to action, and we're tying it to their timing and their outcome. Okay, I think I had someone else join. I'm sorry. I hope nobody's in the waiting room. And I'm just leaving them over there, but I think that everyone who wants to get in is good. Okay, so we're tying it to the timing and outcome. And here's a question that I always get to is a lot of the things that I teach are evergreen, right? People can join or work with you at any time. We're not doing several different launches throughout the year. Well, we always do kind of that initial mini soft launch. The goal is to get it evergreen. And so that's where the sequence comes into play. So a lot of times the urgency that we talk about isn't the type of urgency that's like, oh, closing in 3 days, or you have 2 days to take me up on this offer. The urgency can also be tied to like really painting the picture of what's the cost of staying stuck where they are. So you might have heard it explained before as like this choice bind. You can paint 2 paths, right? Do nothing and stay exactly where you are, keep running into the same roadblocks, keep, where is your person right now? Or they can work with you so they can move forward right now, getting these results right now instead of wasting more time and energy and months to be exactly where they are 6 months from now, right? So we're just painting a picture and showing them that the real urgency is actually the cost of staying stuck, the cost of not working with you. And so that's another way that we can create urgency in there. Okay, so I'm talking a lot. I want to make sure before I move into this, is there anything that you have questions on or really need me to just clarify a little bit more before we move into some examples? Or are we all good to go? Feel free to type it in the chat too. Okay, I'm going to keep going. If I see some things come in the chat, I'll come back to them. Okay, so I'm just going to give a few examples. I'll go through this fast. Again, you will have access to all of this, so you can kind of see I have some different frameworks in here that you'll be able to use. But I wanted to give you an idea of what these call to actions could look like, and depending on what your offer is. Okay, so again, if you have a high ticket or a really customized offer, I think a great question, Anne. We will get to that right here in this. So Anne's question was, you mentioned book a call as the call to action. Do you do that instead of taking them to your sales page? The answer is it depends on what you're selling and how you like to sell to people, right? So sometimes for higher ticket or specific customized offer, the great thing is to lead them to book a call. I have noticed that over the past few months, again, with the trust issue going on, a lot of people for higher ticket offers that before would have just bought with an email, lead to the sales page, click to buy. Now they're taking a little bit more time, or they need to actually get on the call with you. And so in the emails, I have started trying out booking a call, but we still have the sales page so they can see the Longfor sales page, so they can really see everything that's in it. They get the testimonials, they get, what are the results that they can have. So it's kind of a both and. But in these emails, if it is a higher ticket offer, and I'm thinking of right now your grant writing community, if they are coming specific to a workshop like this and that you're doing, I would even have book a call on there. And then in your emails, when you talk about like the name of the program, hyperlink that to your sales page. But because I know part of working with you again is the experience of you, and you are fun, you give them exactly what you need. Like it's a great experience being a part of your community. And so you can get that through your sales call, but you can also get it through, you and I had talked about including different videos in your nurture sequence. So that's another way for them to experience you. I think as long as you have something for them to experience, that's the important part. Does that help? Okay, so for this, just an example is you're giving them, book your call for specific results, right? We're taking them from why are they hearing from you? They just came to your workshop, they just watched an on-demand webinar, and this is the result they want. So this is, it can't just be, book a call, but why do they want to book a call? What are they going to get out of it? What's the result for them for booking that call? Go back to this. Okay, so this is kind of the same thing, just different variations. And then how can we incorporate story into something like this, into a call to action? So this is, one of my clients almost skipped the call because she thought she wasn't ready. She decided to join us anyways, and within 2 weeks, she closed 10K in sales from the plan we built on that first call. Right, so kind of, again, it shows that result, that specific result that they can get by working with you. Here's if we're selling direct to sales page offer. So some of my clients don't sell with sales calls. They sell directly from their sales page. And that's where your long form sales page comes in handy, because it really overcomes all of the objections. It takes them from where are they now to where do they want to be. And they can book right on there. They can, and we've sold high ticket packages like this too. Right now, like I had mentioned, it's getting a little bit harder to do that just because of everything's changing really rapidly and all the stuff going on in our world. I'm just seeing right now, sales calls are working a little bit better for the higher ticket. And when I say higher ticket, I'm typically anything over $2,000, maybe even over $1,000. But if it's anything under $1,000, I don't think you need to do sales calls. Okay. So just some examples again. I'll make sure you have all this. I don't want to go through it word for word because that would probably be boring. But it's just showing how you can close with stories. Again, saying Mark was on the fence because he thought he needed more time, but he realized waiting meant staying stuck in the same cycle. He joined, and in the first week inside your program, he got XYZ. Waiting would have cost him months of progress and money. So he's so glad he didn't, right? So we show them here, what's the cost of staying stuck? Instead, they can just work with you and get the results so much faster and often better. And then you also hear selling a time-sensitive promotion, or if you're doing a seasonal push. And this is a lot easier to include urgency if there really is a timestamp on it. If you really are doing an open and close, or if you're only having a sale for so long, you just never ever want to do fake urgency. So, you know, I've seen it happen where it's like, oh, you only have 48 hours. And then 2 days later, like, just kidding. And it stays open for 3 more weeks. Like, we don't want to do that because it causes people to lose trust in you. So the only time I say to really use that time sensitive, if they truly cannot get it at that special price or at all, if it's not within that time. Okay, same here. So you'll just kind of see the different variations that you can use here. I always like examples because it helps me learn a little bit better. So what I will teach and the custom GPT I'm going to give you today is really going to help with this. So here's kind of the sample sequence map that I would do. This can be a 5 to 7 email sequence, so it doesn't have to be super long. Shows you when to send, but that replay goes out on the first day. Right after, again, you have that momentum, your people are warm, they want to be there, they want to work with you, right? So we're sending out that replay and it's always on a page that can sell to them too. So not just a link, because most times people aren't going to rewatch it, or you have people like me that just love transcripts, so I can quickly find easily what I need. So you'll get that too. Emails too, I like to share a story. Again, you'll kind of see how I do that, but just a story with a key takeaway and always that call to action. So you'll see, I guess I don't have CTA on here, but you always have a CTA. Every time you have a CTA, always a CTA. Is it book a call? Is it go to the sales page? What's your call to action? Just make sure it's simple, clear over, catchy, anytime. Case study. So this is if you have past client wins, success stories, even people that are, you know, sometimes if you're newer and you just have people in the middle of a program you just started, chances are they're getting some wins within there. So how can you talk about that? What are the things they're already experiencing? Or, you know, if you've worked with someone in a different capacity, but they've gotten a result, you can talk about that too. Again, it's more about the experience of working with you. Social proof. So kind of the same thing as a case study, but here's what I like to do. If you get emails of your clients praising you like, oh my gosh, I love this, or I burst into tears when I was reading this because it's so good, screenshot that, take a picture, use that in your emails, use that on your social posts. Of course, always get permission or black out the name so they can't see the name. If you get text messages from people, if you get Facebook messages, like screenshot those, keep a folder, save them everywhere. Social proof is so important because it shows real people are getting real results. Use those. You can use that in every single email if you want. The more social proof you have, the better. So as you go, always collect testimonials. I show you how to do that too. Always be collecting information from your people at every point in the process. Value add, call to action. Again, a value add doesn't mean like tips and tricks. It can just be like a shift in perspective, maybe a new way that they haven't thought about doing something. So it kind of gets that light bulb going like, aha, I haven't tried that before. Maybe that's why this works and everything else hasn't. Right? So that shift in perspective. FAQs. I love to include a good FAQ email. This helps to overcome objections they might be having. For one of my clients, this is like the best email. I don't know why. It's like the one that just gets the most people to sign on and say yes. But a lot of times it's answering questions people either A, didn't know they had that are kind of like keeping them on the edge of saying yes, or questions that everybody has and she can just answer them in an email instead of getting on a call and talking them through. right? So think about every question tends to come in the form of an objection. So like, oh, your calls are every Tuesday at 11. It's okay. All of our calls are recorded. Transcripts are in there, and you can ask questions in the community every time, right? Because some people are like, well, I can't make the call, so I'm not going to get any value out of it. Whereas you're still going to get the value, you're still going to get the results, even if you can't come to the calls. Or I don't have enough time or money. Those are two huge objections that we always answer in those emails. Because money usually, sometimes money is like a real objection, right? They just don't have enough, and we don't want to push them to like pay for your program if they actually can't pay for it. But a lot of times it's not about the money. It's just that they don't see themselves in the transformation yet. They don't see themselves on the other side. It means we haven't kind of shown the big enough benefit or transformation that they believe yet. So we just need to make them believe that. And everyone's busy. We are all busy. But a lot of what we are doing is to save them time, to give them back more time. Even you, Lori, doing interior design. That's months and hours they don't have to spend trying to pick out everything for their room, all the colors. And not only that, it's the stress that comes with a remodel, decision fatigue, all of the things that they might be dealing with. So you're there to give them more time back. And then this is where the urgency comes in, email 6, last chance or urgency. Again, we talked about that, the different ways to use urgency there. Always include a call to action. And then the final reminder. I have those two as optional. I always like to include them because I think it's really important. And the final reminder can be, again, if it's not a like, this is closing, many times it's like, this is the last time you'll hear from me about this specific offer for a while. And here's why I think you should join us. And again, it's just going back to what the benefits are. So those are the emails. Okay, checkpoint. I know some of you haven't even got through your nurture sequences yet. Is there anything you think you're missing, or we kind of just like need all of this to be implemented? You can answer in the chat if you'd like. Oh, okay. All of it. Okay, all of it. Perfect. Okay, so we're going to do some live copy reviews. I know Anne submitted something. If you didn't submit it, that is okay. You can share it now. So I built this new tool I'm really excited about that you are, I'm not sure what you mean by working on the connections, but if you just have it like on a simple Google form, you can just send the link in the chat. Or if it's on a Word doc, however it works for you, if that's what you mean by connection, but I could be wrong. Okay, so bear with me. I am going to try to stop my sharing and start it again. Because we are going to do some live reviews. And Anne, I think you said you had to hop off at some point, so we can, this will be recorded. We can chat through it. Okay. I'm so sorry. I gotta try to figure out how I can get a new tab for you to see. Okay, we're gonna go to AI. Okay, how many of you are like, you use ChatGPT and you love it or you hate it? Like, share more with me about like how much you use AI and the capabilities for it. Love it. Okay, that's awesome. You're going to love this. I use Chat and Claude. Oh, I used to use Claude a lot too. I really liked it. And the only reason I use Chat now is because I can have all of my custom GPTs on there, and maybe Claude does that now too. Okay, here's what I'm going to share with you. I don't know how to get this thing off my other screen. So I'm sorry. Okay, so I have built a sales call, or not a sales call, email sequence analyzer. And basically what I'm going to give you is I'm going to give you the link for this. We're going to walk through it now. So you can upload your email sequence in here, and it is going to analyze it for you, and then it's going to help you rewrite it using everything we talked about today. And then I've also put in some other important copy and messaging tips in here for it, so that even if you just have one email, we can work from that and it'll help you build it out, which is super exciting. So I'm going to give you this link. Please don't share it with anybody. It's just for your eyes. Only you are getting it because you came here live today. But I think this is really going to help. And it kind of just sees, it initially shows you, what's maybe not working, where can we shift, and then it can help rewrite. So because Anne sent hers over, here is what we're going to do. Again, I have a lot of tabs going on, so bear with me. So with this analyzer, basically what you can do is if it's on your Google Drive, you can just add your email sequence right from Google Drive. But because Anne shared hers with me, it's not on my Google Drive. What I'm going to do is just copy and paste the email. She just has one email in hers for now. So we're just going to start with one email and it's going to analyze it. Okay, Anne, if you are still there, I think this is the email that would come after someone downloads your lead magnet. Let me get back to the chat so I can see. Okay. Basically, okay, I'll wait to see. So anyways, I copy and pasted Anne's email in here. And if I believe correctly, this is something either they come onto her initial, like just general welcome sequence, or after they download her free resource, which is the 20+ grant sources. Okay, so I've incorporated that in here. What's also really great to do that I could do as part of this is input who her ideal client is, what are the things they're talking about and saying right now. The more information ChatGPT has from you, the better output you're going to get. So I always input, whenever someone books a call for me, there's questions on there on that form that gets me their exact language of what they're struggling with right now. I have different market research things that I've done. I just copy and paste that onto all of here so it can see what are the exact things my people are talking about. And that's going to give it a lot of information to use. So you'll see you put this in here, push go. That's going to show overall we're scoring like in school here, which is fun. But it talks about here's what the biggest wins are. And the biggest risks. So it shows here we have 2 call to actions competing. So could we narrow it down to 1, or maybe because this is the initial, if it's the initial email that's just for a welcome sequence or a lead magnet that is not coming after a workshop or a webinar, then this is the exception where I say it's okay to have 2. But I would change it where it's right at the top. It's like, thank you so much for downloading this free resource. Here's the link. And then towards the bottom, I would say, but if you're ready to go right now, book a call with me and we'll XYZ. So that's where I could say you could have 2 call to actions, is if they are genuinely downloading a free resource or they've just come onto your welcome sequence. Okay, repeats general promises. So basically, it kind of just goes through and audits and gives suggestions. And then the best part is it gives a little bit of a rewrite. And then it says, if you want, I can map the full 5 email sequence using your program details so this one flows better as email 3. Okay, so it will start writing them for you. Questions so far? Would this be helpful for you if I shared this? Yes. Okay. I see Lori. I can't see anyone else. Okay. So I'm going to share this and then we can actually go through and work on some of these emails. Okay. Let me. Okay. Oh, I'm like, I saved all the links in one spot so I would be super prepared for you today. And then I closed it down, but here it is. Okay, I put the link in the chat. Can somebody please click on it to make sure that it works for you? This is just like a brand new resource that I created. So I'm excited about it, but make sure it works. Make sure the link works. And if you could just, Lori, since I can see you, if you can give me a thumbs up if it works for you, that would be great. Perfect. Okay. So once you open that, once you click this link and open it, it should actually always live on the side of your GPT. You'll see I have a lot of them that I created. These are all my frameworks and templates that I use for my clients and myself. But it should then stay on the side. So anytime you create emails, you can go in here and have it analyze it. And it doesn't have to always be a sequence. As long as you tell ChatGPT, I'm just sending this out to my, thank you, Helen. I appreciate you being here. I will send out the replay after this. So this should always live on your sidebar. Again, if for some reason it disappears, just reach out and I will send access to you for this. Okay. Let me get back now. Okay, so, and I'm not sure if you can still hear me or if you are still on. I just need a little bit more information about what this email is for. If you can share, otherwise, if not, you and I can work on this too, and I can come back to this. Does anyone else have an email or email series that they want to input, and we can actually go in real time and make some edits? Even if it's one email. No, nobody has anything? Okay. Who was it before that said they're working on the connections? Okay, Cheryl, I think you're working on connections still. But if you have anything, let me know and we can go through it. Okay, Lori, I'm offering.
Oh, it's Cheryl. I just wanted to answer you. I didn't want to.
No, that's okay. Perfect.
I'm working on Instagram and LinkedIn, actually making connections with people prior to that's what I was trying to say in the chat.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, yeah. So early stage.
Early stage. So is there something on messaging that you need support with in regards to that, or how that can connect to this?
I think I'm doing okay. I'm using Canva to create like slides and doing storytelling, kind of connecting my copywriting, how I work to my past career. I owned a cafe for 25 years and just sort of kind of using storytelling to show people how I work. So relating.
Amazing. Okay. Thank you, Cheryl. Mm-hmm. And Lori, you said you had a question here. Let me get back down to it. Okay. I'm offering virtual or online interior design services, so everything will be online. Ooh, I love that. My plan is to offer a virtual consultation or full room design package. What do I do to lead to this nurture sequence? Do I host a workshop or a live call? Okay, that is a great question, Lori. So part of what I like to do with my clients is not one approach works for everyone. So if you feel comfortable with doing live calls or live workshops, then by all means, yes, I would do that. I also would have some type of lead magnet that's always available and running in the background, so you can build that list, right? So there's kind of two ways. So what I like to recommend, and this is why I need to do things for myself as well, because I usually do them for my clients and then I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I like to say, always have a lead magnet running in the background. And the lead magnet can be something that covers like, what are the top questions that you get asked all of the time? It's kind of that, like those urgent problems, like a little win that you can solve with a lead magnet. And so that can be a PDF or a checklist. It can even be a 15-minute on-demand training that you can just pull up a Loom video, do a recording, and then have it live on YouTube. So that's really what they're downloading. They don't get the link unless they join your email list. So I would always have that running in the background. And then if you can, do a monthly workshop or a live Q&A call. Whatever feels most helpful to the way that you like to show up and serve your audience. And it doesn't have to be a new workshop every month. It can be the same one, or you can rotate between 2 or 3, because repetition is really important. A lot of times people, I mean, sometimes I say, think about what's the last big investment that you made. It might not always be that you bought it the very first time you interacted with that person. It might have taken a few times to see their stuff, to, again, experience them, to just understand before you make that purchase. So the more someone sees you show up again and again and again, they're like, oh, that must be working, must be getting those results, right? And so repetition is okay. And that way you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. It's easy for you, and it's a great way to get new people in and engaged, and even engage those people who have been in your world for a while. Does that help? And then I would just make sure that your nurture sequences for both of those could be similar, but that they're kind of, I guess, talking about, you know, what the workshop was or what the PDF was, but still always leading them to, is it a call with you? Is it purchase the package right away? Like, however it's best that they work with you, that's what I would make sure those emails lead to. Any questions on that?
I mean, I've never done this before, so I mean, I've been designing for a long time, but trying to run or market my own business is very new. So I don't know, the thought of doing like a live workshop is scary.
And that's okay. And, you know, it's what I always say is the first workshop, there might be 1 person there. The second one, then maybe you'll have 5 people, and you'll have 20 people and 30 people, right? Even if you're just showing up, or let's say no one shows up, that's okay. Give it and then send out the replay. Like, and I wouldn't worry about having to do a fancy PowerPoint. Like, mine is super simple. Some coaches I know that I have invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars with, they don't use PowerPoint at all. They just show up and talk and interact, because people really, again, want that experience of working with you. And when you can show your expertise and you can tell those stories, that's what's going to kind of bring them across the line and say, yes, I want to work with Lori. So, and don't feel like it has to be like perfect and polished before you get it out there. Sell it first, then build it.
Okay.
Yes. And another thing with that too, put some polls out there. What do people want to learn more about? What do they want to hear about? So that you kind of have that direct feedback instead of creating a whole presentation that somebody might not actually want. So doing some different polls and just questionnaires, even to just people that are already around you, reaching out and sending some direct messages. Or seeing what posts you get the most engagement on. Okay, any other questions? Okay, because we are coming up on time, I know I said I promised I would end on time, so I'm going to do that. Of course, there is always an invitation to work with me. So I am helping people like yourselves, coaches, consultants, founders who are really just wanting to get that marketing system in place. And going from lead generation all the way to the sale. How can we make sure everything fits together so that you're continuously bringing in leads and leading them to the sale? Because not everyone is going to say yes when they first come onto your list. But how can we continue to nurture them and to hone in our messaging so that it's really speaking to that person that needs it? And so that goes back to getting those results like my clients that we've really honed in their messaging and their systems. So they're able to make those high ticket sales with emails. They're able to fill their launches or fill their communities just by having that system in place. And to make it super easy, I was going to do a whole link to book a new call and all of this stuff, but really I'm just going to put a simple link in the chat here. If you want to go ahead and book a call with me, even if you're not sure if this is the right next step, I only want to support you if I also feel like it's a right fit and if we work together well. So there's a link here. I have some availability over the next few days that I would love to have a chat with you. So feel free to go ahead, book a call, and we'll talk and see if this is the next right fit for you. But I think one of the important things to matter is that visibility is really important. Kind of what I have been, talking about. But what's really even more critical is what comes after. Having that system in place that takes you from being visible to making the conversion. So that we're not always in the feast or famine mode, that we still may have dips, but it goes like this rather than like this, right? So we're constantly bringing in leads and being able to, whether it's fill your program or fill your offer, get more clients. That's what's really important in having this system. Okay, thank you so much. Again, please book a call. If you have any questions, please let me know. Don't forget to use the link, the Sales Call Analyzer, even if you don't have anything built. Talk to it, give it some ideas, and it can help write that for you. I've put in all of my messaging tips and frameworks around that, so it should make sure that it spits out some good feedback. But thank you, and have a wonderful day. I hope to be chatting with you all soon. Have a good rest of your day. And I will stay on if anyone has questions too. If you do have questions, you can feel free to just come off mute and we can chat.
I have a few basic questions about writing emails, nurturing emails. What would you say is the length of emails? Is there
The what of email? Sorry, I missed that word.
a word count?
Oh, the word count. So I don't have a specific word count. What I tend to recommend is that rather than focusing on word counts, you're focusing more on just one main idea in the email.
And however long that takes you.
Yes.
Being
Yep.
concise and
Yep.
clear, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Some stories, some things are longer than others. Sometimes I am very long-winded and my emails tend to get long, but sometimes they can be quick and simple and easy. It's just sticking to one main idea so that you're not confusing the reader, and then all roads lead to that call to action, whether it's booking a call or buying your program.
Okay. Are you also saying that specifically one call to action in each email to not lose focus, but that call to action needs to be the same in that entire sequence?
If it's a regular sequence, like a nurture sequence,
Yes.
or if it's coming after a workshop or a challenge, then I would say the call to actions are the same. If it's just in your weekly newsletter that you're sending out, those call to actions may be different. Are you sending them to a blog post, a podcast episode? Is it just asking a question, getting your audience to engage? So in your weekly newsletter, it's really about more engaging your audience and selling to them. So there's a mix in your emails that you're sending out.
Okay.
Is that helpful?
Yes, thank you.
No problem. What else did you have?
I don't know. Am I the only one on the call?
Yeah, you're the only one on the call left. I'm not
Oh,
sure whose Read AI meeting notes are there, but
no, they're not going to ask anything. Well, they might.
right?
I know my AI talks to me all the time. So, I don't have any specific questions. I mean, I've never written an email sequence before, but I have different voices. Like I haven't launched yet, but I do have a newsletter because I'm a caregiver for
Mhm.
my elderly parents. So it originally started out as something that just helped me sift through my own thoughts. But then I thought, people might like to hear about this. So I've written like 3 newsletters on caring for my parents. And it's sort of, it's got a lot of funny, uplifting body to it. So I wondered if I'm a health and wellness copywriter, but should I link to that Substack newsletter from my Instagram account or from my LinkedIn account? I have different voices.
That is a great question. I think what I would focus on is with your Substack, with that writing that you're doing about being a caregiver, is your goal simply to just get the awareness around it, to to have people read it, more of a just for you type of thing? Or are you looking to build a business around it where you want to support other caregivers, where you want to start some
Well,
type of like support group? I guess I would look at what's the goal on that, and then frame about how are you that would be how you're talking about it.
Okay.
Because then your copywriting would be separate. So you could have both both lanes, but they're just a little bit different because it might not make sense if you're promoting caregiving and copywriting. You could
Right.
make it work. You just kind of have to have an overall goal and strategy in
Okay.
mind for both.
Okay.
So
All right.
without digging in, I'm sorry, I can't give you a perfect answer, but
No.
there
Yeah.
are ways that you could connect both of them. It just would be like we kind of work backwards from what's that end goal.
Gotcha. Reverse engineer. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I'm not going to take any more of your time.
That's okay. Thank you so much. And being a caregiver is a lot. And so I think it's very amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I used to work long before this. I was in a nonprofit and worked with the Alzheimer's Association. And so I worked with a lot of individuals and families like yours that were caring for their elderly parents as well with dementia. So
Yeah. Cool. Thank you. All right.
all right, Shane, well, you have a great day, and be in touch. Feel free to reach out if you need anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.